Would everyone please rise and join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag As president of the Student Council and member of the 1989 graduating class, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all family, friends, and relatives. All right. Yeah, pissing. Okay. High school was a stepping stone for all of us. As the ceremony progresses, we'll become closer and closer to leaving Lahser High School and thrive for those bigger and better opportunities. To the class of 1989, the last class of the 80s, I wish you the best of luck to everyone. Thank you and enjoy.
Far beyond where the horizon lies, where the horizon lies, and the land sinks into mellow blueness. Oh, please take me with you. Let me skip the road with you. I can dare myself. I can dare myself. I can dare. I'll put a pebble in my shoe and watch me walk. I can walk. I can walk. I shall call the pebble day. I shall call the pebble day. We will talk together about walking. Dare shall be carried, and when we both have had enough, then I'll take him from my shoes, singing, meet your new road. Then I'll take your hand, finally glad that you are here by my side, 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 by my side.
Good evening. Thank you. I'd like to begin with two words. Words I think we've all heard at one point or another throughout our term here at Lahser High School. Words which are usually spoken before the beginning of class. Words which have caused our blood to run cold, our limbs to freeze up, and filled us with visions of our parents spewing fire from both nostrils as they surveyed our progress reports. Two simple, innocent, paltry little words. Pop, quiz. How many of these little time wasters have we failed since freshman year? You do remember freshman year, don't you? When seniors were these large carnivorous beings stomping menacingly through the halls and devouring whatever small freshman-like beings happened to get in their way. And we, as freshmen, darted quietly and unobtrusively between their legs on the way to class, maps in hand, usually holding them upside down. And we would say to ourselves, gosh, someday I'll be that big. Of course, I thought this my sophomore and junior years as well, but I digress. My point is this: 4 whole years. Where did they go? They're gone, like that. It seems like just yesterday we were at Lahser for our 9th grade orientation. Just yesterday. Flashback. 9th grade English. Writing papers about what we'd done over spring break. And then, of course, the inevitable contrast to this year, writing papers on Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. Although, if the rumors I heard this spring were true, Crime and Punishment is a pretty good summary of a lot of people's spring breaks. At any rate, it took us 4 years to realize there was a vast difference between describing days spent on a beach and describing the essential trivialities of existence while cogitating from a nihilistic perception of the existential universe. You'll have to forgive me, we all kind of had to talk like that in AP English. Flashback. Driver's ed. Just prior to my sophomore year. And if those flags on the driving range had been BMWs, I'd be a pauper now. Flashback. Junior year. The death of a friend. My first such experience. And one which a lifetime will never erase. Which I guess brings me to my main point. Never say that you didn't learn anything in high school. Because if you really believe that, you're just deluding yourself. If it wasn't from a textbook, then it was from a friend or from an experience. The growth, the learning, the changes that happened in you, you won't forget, and you shouldn't want to. Because whether you like them or not, these past 4 years have been life. The good times, the bad times, and the times in between. The victories and the injustices. Because if you lock away the angry times, you'll never learn from them. And if you lock away the sorrow, then you'll never understand it. And if you choose to forget the happy times, the joy and the friendships, then you can never relive them. 4 years. 4 years of laughter, tears, frustration, anxieties, and, yes, lots of failed pop quizzes. 4 years ending here, tonight. But this isn't just a graduation. It's an initiation as well into a new and unknown part of our lives. Dostoevsky said at the end of Crime and Punishment, "That may be the beginning of a new story, but our present one is ended." Well, then let it end. But let it be remembered. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education, distinguished guests, families, friends, and graduating class. It is certainly my pleasure as senior class sponsor to represent the faculty here at this graduation ceremony. I would also like to recognize the staff members from the feeder schools who are here today. Since most of our graduates have spent their entire K through 12 education in the Bloomfield Hills system, it is only appropriate that the entire staff be represented. Today is a very special day for the members of the Lahser senior class. It is also special for parents and friends. My younger daughter received her high school diploma here yesterday, so I know how proud your parents must feel. I can assure you that the many educators here today also feel this sense of pride. Graduates, you are about to embark on a new phase in your life. For most of you, it will be college. No matter what your plans are, you all have the opportunity to succeed. Please take this opportunity and make the very most of it. Remember that success is not attained by following the easy road. Accept the challenge to get the very most out of the coming years. Remember also that there are two educations facing you. One is how to make a living, and the other is how to live. Although a college degree may help you earn a living, the method in which you live is even more important. You will take no classes in how to live, but don't disregard this part of your education. Emulate those you admire, and do your best to rid yourselves of those traits which you deem undesirable. I would like to share two thoughts which I think especially appropriate at this juncture. First, judge yourselves by what you're capable of doing instead of judging others. And second, remember what Cher said in an interview with Barbara Walters. Life is not a dress rehearsal, so do your best to lead the fullest and finest life possible. You only have one. I have been involved with this class as a teacher, a coach, and advisor, and it has been a real joy working with them. Believe me when I say that we will all miss you and certainly wish you the very, very best in your future. Congratulations. Thank you.
Now, let me begin my speech. My name is Jeffrey Kurz. I am a member of a special group, the 1989 graduating class of Lahser High School. It is a pleasure for me to have the privilege of speaking to you today. Today is the culmination of 4 years of hard work and effort, but even more importantly, it is the beginning of a great new adventure. At this moment, we are stepping into adulthood and all the responsibilities that it brings. Our high school years have established a solid foundation upon which we can build our future. As a deaf student, I feel especially fortunate to be a part of the growing awareness concerning each individual's responsibility as a member of the world community. Not only must we strive to understand ourselves, but we must extend our understanding and sensitivity to people of all cultures. Many of us will continue on to an institution of higher education. Others will join the workforce. But whatever path we choose, we can make a difference. William James once said, "The most immutable barrier in nature is between one man's thoughts and another's." Problems in communication and education are truly global issues. Because of this, each person has the responsibility to work together for the benefit of all. The beginnings of change have begun. The awakening of deaf students to their rights exemplifies this new beginning. As each person plays an integral part of his destiny, he also influences a larger community surrounding his own community. Our thoughts and actions can make a difference. Knowledge leads the way to understanding and developing empathy. I feel proud to speak to you today of the challenges that await us in the future, and privileged to have been given the opportunity to speak to you in sign language, the language of the deaf. I want to thank the administrators, teachers, counselors, and interpreters for instilling feelings of pride and responsibility in me, pride in myself, and a responsibility to give to others as much as I have been given. Today, I dedicate my eyes, my mind, and my hands to the future and hope that someday soon we will be able to tear down all communication barriers while working for the betterment of the world. Perhaps in the future, we will understand what it means to hear a hand. Thank you.
What could an undernourished black youth on the streets of San Francisco expect, especially since he was suffering from a crippling disease associated with malnutrition called rickets, which made his legs scrawny, weak, and bowed? He was given encouragement and leg braces, not much of a Head Start program. And yet this kid with the funny legs and the funny first name somehow developed an incurable case of the winning mentality. When he was 11 years old, he attended a banquet honoring the legendary running back Jim Brown. "I'll break every record you set," the youngster promised Brown. This kid with the funny legs somehow shortened his funny first name because it is seen and used so much today. You may not remember Little Orenthal, but you're certain to recognize the great O.J. Simpson. We are either the captives or the captains of our own thoughts. We can resign ourselves to mediocrity, or we can dare to dream of conquering outer space, discovering a cure for a dread disease, helping the less fortunate, or even creating a new masterpiece of art or music, or discovering our own history. Is it foolish to dream of becoming the first woman president? Golda Meir didn't think so. Foolish to imagine standing on the moon. Neil Armstrong dared to imagine. Earl Nightingale, one of our most respected broadcasters and writers, had revealed our strangest secret: the fact that we literally become what we think about most of the time. And to me, there's no better time to start thinking than the present. Now, this declaration touches all of us without discrimination. The promise is the same for the inquisitive youth, the ambitious man or woman, Oriental or Occidental, black or white, Chicano or Indian, Islamic or Christian. As we see ourselves in the heart of our thoughts right now, so we do become. Illiterate or educated, nobody or somebody, loser or winner, each of us becomes that make-believe self that we have imagined and fantasized most. And whether we're in the opening minutes of the game of life, or in any of the remaining 3 quarters, we must determine once for all that we'll play this game to win. There are 3 types of people involved in the game of life. First, there are the spectators. They're the majority who sit and watch life happen as bystanders. They avoid the main arena for fear of being rejected, ridiculed, hurt, or defeated. Next, there's another large mass of humanity called the losers. Not the millions of hungry and destitute throughout the world, but the ones who would rather look like, act like, earn like, or be like someone else. And then there are the winners. They set and achieve goals which benefit themselves and others. Winning is taking the talent or potential we were born with and have since developed and using it fully towards a goal or purpose that makes us happy. Winning is becoming the dream of ourselves that would fulfill us as people with high self-esteem. Winning is a way of thinking, a way of living. Winning is being glad you are. Our attitude towards our potential is either the key or the lock on the door of our own personal fulfillment. So let's get ourselves together, play our own ball game in the game of life, but play to win. It's no scrimmage or practice game, it's our Super Bowl every day. Let's start winning today. Thank you.
Through the years at Lahser, we have all had someone like a math teacher, a television teacher, or a counselor, which we owe a great deal of thanks. These people, they do not just help us in book smarts. They help us grow as people, as individuals. On behalf of the senior class, I'd like to thank the entire Lahser staff. And thanks to the school, I'd like to present Mrs. Keel with a 10-paged, wall-mounted composite displayer that will be located in the main hallway at Lahser. This is just a gift from all the seniors trying to repay for a great experience at Lahser High School.
I'll say some words and you can sit down. On behalf of all the students and the faculty at Lahser, it's my pleasure to accept the gift from you, and I invite you to come back at homecoming time, take a look-see in the hall. I think you'll find your composite in a new wall rack. Thank you very much. Highlight the accomplishments of the graduating class. This is my pleasure and my responsibility each year at graduation. It is a pleasure for me to recognize you, the graduates, because you've played a key role in making your high school outstanding. Your enthusiasm, your belief in yourself and your school, along with outstanding leadership from the class president, the student council president, newspaper editor, to the literary journal co-editors. All of you have contributed significantly to your school. Over 90% of you have been accepted to over 80 2- and 4-year colleges and universities. Those not attending college in the fall have a solid commitment in private industry with very worthwhile programs such as Up With People receiving some of our graduates. Some have elected the military, and some have elected delayed admission to school. While a complete listing of the honors and scholarships earned by this year's seniors will be featured in the next issue of the Horizons, which will be mailed very shortly, the high quality of this senior class is best exemplified by the following. This is the 6th year that the Presidential Academic Fitness Awards have been granted nationwide. A school is considered fortunate to have from 8 to 10% of its graduates receive the award. 22% of this graduating class received the award. Lahser ranks with the highest performing high schools in the country. Your class has a DAR award finalist and a state champion in forensics. 12 seniors recently were recognized by Bloomfield Hills Youth Guidance for their outstanding work in community service. As a class, you have received honors in art, music, mathematics, foreign language, radio broadcasting, cable television, and athletics in competition at the local, regional, and state level. The members of the class of 1989 are taking with them more than $250,000 in scholarship and financial aid. 4 seniors were Free Press Writing Contest Award winners, and 12 seniors were Scholastic Art Award participants. Another senior in national competition was selected to be a member of the McDonald's All-American High School Band. Yet another senior, because of an essay she wrote, was invited to visit Austria over spring break as a guest of the Austrian government. 9 of our graduates were elected to Phi Beta Kappa, and 47 graduates were elected to the National Honor Society. And 1 student was named a presidential scholar in the field of creative and performing arts. Only 20 of the nearly 3 million high school seniors graduating across the nation received this award. Also, 11 seniors are National Merit finalists and 7 seniors are National Merit Commended Scholars. In addition, 12 students, and I'd like to mention their names, Maria Anagnos, Tanya Arlach, Bridget Ballant, Shama Danda, David Evans, Melissa Ferrer, Amy Fuller, Rajesh Hari, Cecile Cole, Sean McCourt, Susan Pierce, and Nicole Willemeyer are graduating with a 4.0 or above grade point average. You are indeed an outstanding class.
As you've just heard, your accomplishments are great in number. The challenge now is not to rest on your laurels and be content with what you have accomplished. Our student speakers today ask us to remember the victories and injustices of the past 4 years because they'll form the foundation on which to build your future. You've been asked to remember that attitude is a key to the lock on the door of personal fulfillment. And we were encouraged to extend our understanding and sensitivity to people of all cultures. I'd like to share a short reading that expresses some thoughts that I have. At present, the author is unknown to me, and I first saw this reading in the Superintendent's Bulletin to the Board of Education. It's titled, "I Wonder." Year after year, they come to me, these children with questioning looks, and year after year, they leave me as they leave their outgrown books. And I wonder sometimes if I've taught them just some of the worthwhile things, just some of the things they'll need in life, be they poets or peasants or kings. Have I taught them the joy of clean living, that honor is better than fame, that good friends are the greatest of treasures, wealth less than an untarnished name? Have I taught them respect for the aged, protection to those that are weak, that silence always is golden when gossip bids them to speak? Have I taught them that fear is a coward who is beaten when they say, "I can," that courtesy ranks with courage in the heart of the real gentle man? Have I taught them these things and others that will help them be brave, kind, and true? If I have, then I care not if they tell me that 1 squared is equal to 2. Mr. Doyle, Deputy Superintendent of the Bloomfield Hills School District, and Mrs. Von Indy, President of the Board of Education, I'm pleased to present to you, on behalf of the faculty and administration of Lahser High School, the graduating class of 1989.
Able to attend this afternoon. Dr. Docking is participating in the culminating activity of his daughter's medical education at this time. One of the things that Dr. Docking reminds us of on a regular basis is that he is a grandparent. And this year he became a grandfather for the 4th time. 4 years ago, when he became the superintendent, he started a tradition at graduation exercises, and that tradition is to introduce the grandparents of graduating seniors who are at commencement exercises. At this time, I'd like to continue that tradition and ask the grandparents in our audience to stand and be recognized by our graduates. Bloomfield Hills Schools takes a great deal of pride in being more than a K-12 educational system. We take pride in the fact that we are truly a community of learners, and we offer programs and opportunities for very young preschool children through our senior citizens. We gain greatly from our senior citizens because they offer us a perspective on life worth listening to. And in that light, I would like to share with the class of 1989 a letter which was written by an 85-year-old man who had recently learned that he was dying. If I had my life to live over again, I'd try to make more mistakes next time. I wouldn't try to be so perfect. I would relax more. I'd limber up. I'd be sillier than I've been on this trip. In fact, I know very few things that I would take so seriously. I'd be crazier. I'd be less hygienic. I'd take more chances. I'd take more trips. I'd climb more mountains. I'd swim more rivers. I'd watch more sunsets. I'd go more places I've never been to. I'd eat more ice cream. I'd have more actual troubles and fewer imaginary ones. You see, I was one of those people who lived sensibly and sanely hour after hour and day after day. Oh, I've had my moments, and if I had it to do over again, I try to have nothing but beautiful moments, moment by moment by moment. I've been one of those people who never went anywhere without a thermometer, a hot water bottle, a gargle, a raincoat, and a parachute. If I had it to do over again, I'd travel lighter the next time. If I had it to do over again, I'd start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way later in the fall. I'd ride more merry-go-rounds, I'd watch more sunrises, and I'd play with more children if I had my life to live over again. But you see, I don't. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce on my right, and I would ask them to stand as I introduce them, the members of the Bloomfield Hills Board of Education. Mrs. Suzanne Von Endy, President of the Board. Mrs. Sharon Tosh, Vice President of the Board. Mr. David McGraw, Treasurer. Mrs. Linda Finkel, Secretary. Mr. C. Thomas Wilson, Trustee. Mrs. Barbara Dolliver, Trustee. And last, a 9-year veteran of our Board of Education and the father of graduating senior Julie Fleshman, Mr. Ed Fleshman, who will share some comments with the class of '89.
Thank you. If there's one thing that I've learned in my 9 years as a board member, it's that most graduation speeches are forgotten by the time we've marched back up the stairs of this pavilion. In some instances, that is probably for the best, including the remarks I made at last year's gathering. On an occasion like this, it would be very easy to just throw out some more cliches about the importance of education. But by now, I'm sure you've heard that lecture many times, and my daughter would kill me if I did it again to you today. Instead, I would like to comment about education's limitations. Formal education, while very important, is no substitute for street smarts. And that is something all of us need to survive. And I think you need it especially today. I think you people are going out into a harder world than we went out to. I think you've got a tougher road to travel than we did. Street smarts can't be learned from books and have absolutely nothing to do with intellectual or academic achievement. Rather, street smarts is a shrewdness that comes from living and from interacting with life and with people. Part of street smarts is learning the rules for success in life. And one of the first rules of success is be persistent. Ambition without persistence isn't ambition at all. It is just dreaming. Talent or education without persistence is largely wasted. Thomas Jefferson pointed out that the purpose of an education is not knowledge, but informed action. Life is what happens to us while we are busy doing the planning. So you've got to learn to be flexible and how to improvise. Keep your options open. That is very important, especially early in life. Another thing we have to learn is to discipline ourselves, or life will discipline us. That is the only choice we have. Part of street smarts is handling mistakes. Most people make mistakes. A person who does not make mistakes usually does not make anything at all. But most of us not only make mistakes, we make the further error of holding on to them. We cling to them as if they were our inheritance. Now, a mistake can either be a curse or a teacher, and by our subsequent actions, we decide which one it will be. Another important part of street smarts is learning to be happy. Albert Schweitzer once said that happiness is nothing more than health and a poor memory. That is probably too simple. Some people keep trudging through life, though, thinking that there is some place you get to where there aren't any burdens, where all of life will be what you want it to be. Unfortunately, there is no such place. Happiness is not a state you arrive at, but instead a manner of traveling through life. And one of the important rules of traveling, I think, is to travel light, especially in terms of absolute demands. Learn to distinguish between wants and needs and between what is desirable and what is attainable. Learn to live comfortably with the inevitable compromises life imposes on all of us. Aim high, but don't set unrealistic goals, because unrealistic goals is an invitation to failure and frustration. Shakespeare said, "Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so." We need to be careful about the labels we put on things when we think. Many times we label something as awful or terrible and decide to get upset when it is merely inconvenient, disappointing, or slightly embarrassing. Sometimes when we get into a snit, we should ask ourselves, will this really matter to anyone, including me, a year from now? We need to strive for balance in our lives. The Greeks had a saying that anything in excess is a fault. That's worth remembering. Keep busy. Being busy is half the success of being content. Someone once said that happiness is just the result of being too busy to be miserable. Beneath the humor, there is probably some merit in that statement. Accentuate the positive. A glass that's half empty is also half full. Much of happiness or unhappiness in life is caused by relationships with other people. If you want to be happy, you have to learn to get along with other people. Also, if you want to be successful, you have to learn to get along with other people, because that is part of almost any field of endeavor you may go into. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you is probably the best piece of advice that was ever given in the field of human relations. It's as true today as when it was first said centuries ago. A key relationship in terms of happiness is that between parent and child. It's been said that when children are little, they love their parents. When they get older, they judge them. And when they get still older, they forgive them. I would suggest that you don't make any final judgments regarding your parents until after you become a parent yourself. You'll be amazed at how that will change your perspective. Forgiveness is very important to maintaining good relationships. Because most of us are rather imperfect, there's a constant need to forgive and be forgiven. Without forgiveness, life becomes an endless round of resentment and retaliation, and that's quite a waste of life. Another area that I would like to give some thought to is morals. Society, and by that I mean civilization, depends on morals. I was almost going to say that I'm indignant about today's morals, but then I remembered H.G. Wells' comment that moral indignation is nothing more than jealousy with a halo. So I'll just say that I'm very much concerned about morals. The impulses of youth, or people in general, are no better or worse than before. The only difference is now there are more opportunities to satisfy our impulses, supposedly without detection and without consequences. In short, life today gives us greater opportunities to make fools of ourselves. It's been pointed out that the old moral code was based to a large extent on poverty, limited opportunity, and fears. Today, we have greater affluence, more opportunity, and knowledge has wiped out many of our fears. But our lives become quite different when pleasure becomes the basis of morality and the cry becomes, if it feels good, it must be right. There are widespread consequences to the decision to change the foundation of morals from be good to just be careful. Perhaps morals need to be redefined based on the world that we live in today, but there is a real difference between redefinition and elimination. So during your next 4, 5, or 6 years, as you work towards your bachelor's or master's degree in some field, don't forget to work on your SS or Street Smarts degree as well. You will need that too, along with the advanced degrees that you pick up. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the opportunity that I've had to speak to you today. When I thought about speaking, the story came to mind about the minister who was asked to fill in for a very famous speaker. When he began the sermon, he told the congregation that he felt noticeably inadequate, like a square of cardboard that is put in place to substitute for a pane of broken glass. After the service, he was shaking hands and greeting people when a little old lady said to him, "Sir, you needn't have worried about being a square. Your talk proved you're a real pain." I hope you didn't find my remarks too painful, and I hope that you think a few of them were worth remembering after you get to the top of the stairs. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the President of the Board of Education, Suzanne Von Ende.
Good evening, seniors. You'll be relieved to know that I intend to make my remarks short because we have something far more important, I think, to get on to. But before we get moving on, I would like to mention that you are particularly honored this evening. We have a number of staff members from kindergarten through middle school staff members who are in cap and gown here to honor you, including Mr. Don Keverin, principal of East Hills Middle School, who is going to be Mr. Keverin will be retiring at the end of this school year, so I'm sure that all of you would like a chance to say hello to him and congratulations to him. In addition, Mrs. Dorothy Norton is here, and I believe she also will be retiring at the end of the year. Very shortly, you will receive your diplomas, which acknowledge the completion of your primary and secondary education in the Bloomfield Hills schools. Board of Education members will present your diplomas to you, really on behalf of the teachers and staff in our schools, your parents, and our community. It's truly a pleasure for us to take part of this exciting day with you. This ceremony is symbolic of completion, but also in many ways, commencement is significant because it marks the beginning of many new eras for each of you. Sometimes the message that you get may seem to be that it is now time for you to take responsibility for the future. In many ways, that is true, as increased freedom and independence clearly carry with them increased responsibility. As I thought about addressing you this afternoon, I realized that the state of our world may seem unstable, and that therefore being handed responsibility for the future could be quite overwhelming indeed. I had the opportunity recently to hear Dr. David Suzuki, a professor at the University of British Columbia, speak to a group of educators. And I was struck by a very simple statement he made having to do with our global environment. His comment was that many of us grew up believing that we were inheriting the earth from our parents, when in truth, we are simply borrowing it from our children. As you celebrate your graduation, sanely, I hope, I would like to remind you that there are many older adults who love you and care about you. We will stand ready to support you and to work with you in the future because we too have a stake in and a responsibility for the future. Congratulations to each one of you individually, and thank you for your attention.
To receive the first diploma for the class of 1989 is Class President David Roger Brown. The second diploma goes to Student Council President Christopher Francis Zukrowski. Now to our seniors seated on the stage. Michael Craig Johnson. Jeffrey David Kurz. Lisa Simone McRipley. Tanya Marie Arlock. Sean Patrick McCourt. Heidi Ann Sims. With Heidi, John Joseph George. To make sure that all of our students' names can be heard, we kindly ask that you hold the applause until all students have received their diploma. Will the class now please proceed to receive their diplomas?
David Lawar. Kimberly Denowith. Jeffrey Bellavender. Susan Donalow. Cynthia Flores. Philip Mumi. Richard Nager. Amy Schultz. Thomas Terzini. Renee Trimp. Brian Vogler. Maria Anagnos. Mark Vogler. Rebecca Ansley. Lisa Casapas. Mark Young. Julie Artinian. Rami Abiado. Derek Atkin. Douglas Arnold. Bridget Ballant. Yang Bay. Susan Balowski. Eric Erbauer. Danielle Barron. David Bauer. Rebecca Bauman. Douglas Bauer. Heather Whitbeck. Kelly Decklever. Brian Binky. Kaylee Berkowitz. Jennifer Volfrey. Anja Beth. Scott Benjamin. Molly Blank. Thomas Bithell. Jill Bowes. Randall Blau. Lynn Bowes. Brian Bach. Nicole Boivin. Michelle Bourget. Elizabeth Bordner. Scott Breckenridge. Meredith Bratt. John Brinker. Jenny Brooks. John Collins. Stephanie Burmeister. Eric Brown. Laura Burns. Ronaldo Brown. Cynthia Cameron. Kobe Bussey. Jennifer Campbell. Giovanno Keikos. Christine Shiak. Adrian Lenore Kochel. Paul Carriger. Catherine Condon. Trek Carruthers. Megan Cook. John Logue. Beth Dampman. David Cassida. Robin Cook. Mark Champion. Margaret Covert. Bradley Chapman. Tracy Cronin. Richard Collins. Aaron Daly.
Brian Kuhn. Amy Doherty. James Cosma. Sarah Davey. James Dalzell. Nicole DeConnick. Bradley Dean. Heather Deneen. Matthew DeGennaro. Genevieve Yarbeck. Jonathan Dilly. Shama Donda. Jason Dietrich. Shirley Yee. Wallace Dodds. Michelle Drayton. Charles Donaldson. Karen Drum. Ryan Dunleavy. Corey Durbin. David Evans. Kristen Fikens. Alexander Fedorowicz. Melissa Ferrer. Jeffrey Feldkamp. Stephanie Fishman. Stephen Murawski. Rob Montgomery. Julie Fleischman. Lisa Zanellis. Lisa Versace. Jennifer Flynn. Grant Fellows. Amy Fuller. Victoria Valente. Nisha Ganesh. John Foran. Nicole Gardner. Stephen Forrester. Suzanne Giroux. Liz Gilbert. Timothy Forster. Kelly Weinhardt. David Freidinger. Margot Glass. Christy Jones. Amy Gleason. Stacy Trepic. Anika Goss. Leonard Gumer. Joanna Gray. Ratib Habal. Shannon Greening. Fashat Hamzavi. Kristen Gronsky. Brian Hancock. Katie Hallett. Rajesh Hari.
Sarah Halliday. Ronald Hessler. Cheryl Hanba. Scott Holden. Rachel DeYoung. Lisa Stafford. Chris Erickson. Nicole Harling. Dion Johnson. Amy Henderson. Brent Jones. Ann Henderson. Scott Kipp. Heidi Higginbotham. Jonathan Klein. Megan Hunter. Brent Kuffler. Kelly Hutchins. Patricia Winstanley. Jennifer Walkowitz. Christian Lewis. Jessica Jones. Stacy Wargelin. John Madden. Colleen Kennedy. Lisa Kenny. Ryan Males. Cecile Cole. Dustin Martin. Meredith Kohler. James Martz. Margaret Kopmeyer. Jeffrey Mattioli. Amy Kramer. Matthew McClory. Sherilyn Kriebel. Mitsui Kubota. James McKinnon. Pamela Curving. Timothy McMahon. Dina Lambert. Mark Pacini. Wayne Agni. Sean Lambertson. Jason Mendelson. Amy Lamparter. Carvin Midget. Christine Lauer. Michael Mintline. Karen Lee. Shaheen Mogadam. Jennifer Leach. Christopher Morehouse. Leslie Lineweber. Richard Moss. Barbara Lewandowski. Catherine Williams. Molly Lenish. Daniel Mumbrew. Tyra Lyons. George Najum. Christine Lytle. Nicole Willemeyer. Angela Mag. John Noteman. Angela McLean. Mark Novell.
Maria Valente. Patrick Ong. Nicole Masty. Garrett Orr. Kelly McCann. Brad Palmer. Kelly McComas. Mark Panley. Christine Domalevich. Jonathan Parison. Margaret Mealy. Michael Pastori. Nicole Miller. Anthony Peters. Stephanie Moigus. Mark Pfister. Robin Utley. Kimberly Wilner. Jason Pitzer. Carolyn Morehouse. Stephen Poe. Brooke Mossman. Robert Portzer. Kelly Murphy. Sri Ram. Sherry Murray. Andres Ramirez. Jeannie Nasinovich. Stephen Raval. Ann Nielsen. Roland Rivero. Shannon Nichols. Andrew Roberts. Catherine Norrie. Jay Roberts. Maureen O'Reilly. Ross Roberts. Kenyatta Page. Thomas Ross. Deborah Patrick. Edward Sander. Joanne Peabody. Ivan Sarkisian. Susan Pierce. Jeffrey Scaife. Danielle Patronero. Lawrence Shefsky. Deborah Fahn. John Shanuda. Bernadette Raimundo. Thomas Shield. Patty Reddick. John Simpson. Rebecca Reese. Wissam Sito. Lee Rich. Grace Rim. Jason Smith. Debbie Rook. Kenneth Stevens. Ken Sagawa. Julie Rubrick. Eric Swisher. Cheryl Saffler.
Scott A. Taylor. Melissa Shurman. Mark F. Thistlethwaite. Heather L. Schneider. Robert F. Tomlinson. Yoko Sano. Brian Tuttle. Margaret F. Shannon. Brian E. Wall. Diane Trout. Eric W. Walkowitz. Cynthia L. Sitchan. Robert Westman. Yvette I. Sito. David J. Willett. Catherine K. Smith. Neil J. Young. Hunju D. So. Jeffrey Y. Young. Heather Spahn. Scott Alexander Ziegler. Julie P. Stevenson. John D. Zuzanak. Jacqueline A. Stewart. Laura S. Stickle. Belinda M. Stopa. Antoinette L. St. Pierre. Julie L. Thompson.
Would all the members of the 1989 senior class please rise?
And join with us in the tassel ceremony changing. Congratulations, we are now alumni.
Now that we've completed our high school education, I wish every single one of you success. You can define the word however you want. It can be a nice car, it can be a big home, it can be a loving spouse, or just helping the needy. Whatever it is, I hope you find excellence in striving for your success. To change the tone, I'd like to thank all the family and friends for attending. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Seniors, see you at the all-night party.